destruction is like no other. We saved up really hard to get a house for the kids, security for my wife and everything, and I got addicted to the news. Right, I've got our savings, let's race it up. And I lost a whole lot. I had major thoughts about killing myself.
Welcome to Disruptors, and I'm Rob Moore. In this episode, I interview Paul Merson, famous Arsenal and England footballer turned Sky pundit and very open and honest alcoholic gambling addict. But before we dive into this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on.
Sometimes you forget, you know, I've had to close all the doors. My wife looks after everything. You know, I'm a 10-year-old, I have pocket money, if I have pocket money.
Shit.
You know, everything.
So she manages all your money?
Everything. I do not have anything. You know, if I want to, you know, I have a card, but she knows the card. She'll see it on the bank statements. I buy petrol, and if I'm out, I buy food. But that is it. You know, she dictates everything. Which, when it first happened, you know, you're like, I'm 52, fuck. But I understand now. I do understand. I can't have money. I can't. It's easier not to have money than to have money.
Fuck. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, all right. I mean, when it first started, I was like, how dare you? You know what I mean? It's like...
Oh, was it driven by her or...?
Yeah, I mean, she's been through a lot. My wife's been through a lot. The problem is when you're a drinker and a gambler or a drug addict and you stop and people go, oh my God, doing amazing. Everybody forgets you've dropped an hand grenade behind you. You know, destruction is like no other. You know, my wife still today will always be on tenterhooks with the gambling.
Has she been with you through the whole journey?
We met about 9 years ago, so we got 3 kids together. But she's seen some bad ones. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the one in lockdown a couple of years ago when I'd done all our deposit for a house, that was
that on gambling?
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one for me. That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
But she stayed with you through it all?
Yeah, she stayed. Her mum's dad was a gambler.
Oh.
So her mum's dad. So
do you think
it was like, yeah, it was, so when she went to her mum would be like, he's not a bad person. He's not doing it. He doesn't dislike you. It's not a hatred towards you. It's an illness. It's him. It's not you. Because that's what people think. You know, you don't come home at night and you stay out drinking. You know, your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or partner would always be thinking, well, they must hate me. They must hate me with a passion. Why wouldn't they come home? Or why would they lose all our money? And it's not. You hate yourself. You hate yourself with a passion. Mm. And that was what it was like for me. It was something that I don't forget, but I know it's out there if I don't keep on doing what I do day at a time.
So do you think it's easier for your wife to walk away or to stay?
I think that would be her. That'll be her.
Yeah.
I mean, if she go to me, it looks like Brad Pitt. No, I'm joking.
All right. No, sorry, you don't.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, you know what? They'll come. It can't keep on that. She knows now that I know. She knows now I got an illness. So if I go back now, you know, she'd have every right to go, you know what, I've had enough.
Yeah.
You know, Paul, you know now.
Right.
Yeah.
So she can see the switch from not being aware what it is to know what it is.
You know, from the program, everything, to know that this is an illness, and you know, I know I have a problem. That was the thing with being an alcoholic. You know, I went like 6 years without a drink, and I went back and drunk again. People think because you stop for 6 years and you go back, it'll be steady. It's like 100 times worse because you know. And that's the insanity. So when you're drinking and you know you shouldn't be drinking, it makes it 100 times worse.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's actually not that pleasurable an experience.
It's not pleasurable, and you literally start off from where you started from. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you go, oh, I've been 6 years without a drink now, I'll come back and I'll probably just be able to sip a wine or have a couple of beers.
Yeah.
You literally, it's like the follow on from the day you stop, it's like that. You know, it never gets better.
And you called it a disease. I mean, that's almost like a cancer.
Well, it's not like cancer, because some cancers go away. This don't go away.
Wow.
This don't go away. I mean that's harsh, but you know, you can be lucky enough to get cancer. I have melanoma, so, and lucky enough it went away. But this ain't going away. It's a date of time. It's a date of time. You know, more people commit suicide through gambling than any other addiction in the world.
Wow. And what do you think is the worst or the hardest? The drugs, the drink, or the gambling?
I would say the gambling, but it's been made easy for me, if that makes sense.
Because of the lack of money
everything
supply.
That's you know, because I'm Paul Merson. You know, if I'm Jack the Builder, who's struggling with gambling, who stopped gambling, who everything, you know, he's doing really well, and he comes home one day and he has a big argument with his girlfriend or his partner or whoever it may be, and he goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to have a bet. He can walk into any betting shop he wants in the country and have a bet. You know, me, I can't do that.
So in a way, that's
it's
gift
a great
to
thing
you.
for me. It was a gift for me, you
Yeah.
know, so it's easier for me. But I would say it's the worst addiction. You know, I know drinking, I'm surprised. When I stopped drinking many years ago, when I went into treatment in 93, 94, when it became a big story with the drugs, I stopped drinking. And you're like, I'm not going to drink because if I drink, everybody's going to know anyway. You know what I mean? But when I started drinking again, no one gave a flying.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was weird. No one ever come up to me and went, what are you doing, Paul?
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
Do you
no
wish
one.
they had?
Yeah, not really. It's just, not really. It was just, I probably wouldn't have listened anyway. At the end of the day, it's my choice. You know, it was, my choice at the time, but you don't really listen to people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying, you know, in recovery, is stick around the people that understand. I don't like the word stick with winners, because I think there's a lot of winners out there that do drink and gamble, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're just a winner because you stop drinking and gambling. So, but it's being around people that when I talk to someone about my problems, they're a nodding head and not that's not good.
Yeah.
So, you know, being around people who have been in my position.
You said that it's constantly in you and constantly waiting. So do you think this is something you were almost born with?
I don't know, you know. I don't know. I don't know if it's nurtured or natured.
Yeah.
Because I have this with football. I thought a part of my footballing ability, I personally thought it was given.
Yeah.
You know, in my opinion, and I think that's the same with this. You know, I think, you know, people go, yeah, but if you didn't have the bet, well, you never know, but that doesn't mean you're not. Because there'd be people who never have a drink till they're 27, 30 or 40. Some people retire from work and then cannot stop. They start to drink and they cannot stop. You know, so it's, you know, the saying is the first drink's too many and 100's not enough.
Wow.
And that is it. As soon as the first one goes into my body, I just become completely powerless over. And I know it's in me all the time.
Why and when did you initially choose to speak out about it?
Yeah,
Go for it. I'm thinking of you, it's not us.
Why?
There's a deceptive angle on this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I thought my phone. I didn't think I'd touch my phone. Why and when?
Well, let's do one at a time.
Yeah, when I mean the drinking one, I was coming back from the British Legion in Tedderton, where I live, and it was a Sunday evening, 10:30. It wasn't my worst drink. It wasn't like I've been out 2 days or, you know, I'm out of it. I was coming home 10:30 and I thought, I've had enough. Just had enough. I cannot keep on feeling like this. I was going to the pub, wasn't having fun, was just sitting in my phone and just drinking, literally just drinking, like constantly. And literally when the pub shut, I would take a lorry load of drink home and sit indoors and drink it. You know, so I just had enough, and I rang up AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, the next morning. And a good friend of mine who'd been waiting took me to a meeting.
Waiting as in they knew?
They knew, they know, they see it. And then the gambling one was, I stopped, and then we got into lockdown, we saved up money, and I have to save up. You know, I'm not a professional footballer anymore. You know, whatever I do, I have to save up, you know. So we saved up really hard to get a house for the kids, security for my wife and everything, and I got addicted to the news. Like I got addicted to drink and drugs and gambling, I got addicted to the news. I was hanging on to everything Boris Johnson and the other people were saying, and at 5 o'clock I would sit there and honestly, in the end, my anxieties got so bad, my head was like, that's it, I'm never working at Sky again. Football would just be on, behind closed doors, every game would be on every night, and that'll be the way it is. And my brain, being a compulsive gambler, was, right, I've got our savings, let's race it up, let's win the house. And I lost a whole lot, and for 2 weeks I hadn't told my wife, and all I could see was the kids playing on the sofa when I was in, and I just wanted to kill myself. I just thought, my God, I cannot believe what I've done. I cannot believe. And then I just brought up the courage to tell her.
How did you tell her?
Just said, I need to tell you something. And she thought I was joking. She thought I was joking, but yeah, it went ballistic. Yeah, it went ballistic. I'm rightly so, do you know what I mean? It was, but it stuck by me again.
How did you recover from
that? Start again. You know, it is. I mean, it's just start again. It's you either go that way or you come up that way, and you know, I chose to go that way, and that was it. I mean, but I'm not lying. I had major thoughts about killing myself. Major thoughts. Major. You know, I just every time the kids laughing and joking, and I'm thinking, my God, you know, how can I keep on letting people down every time? Constantly letting people down. But not wanting to let people down, you know, it's a horrible, you know, you start thinking you're going mad, you think you're going insane, and that's not a nice feeling either.
And how did you pull yourself out of that low feeling? Because no one else can do it.
Yeah, no, you can't, you got to keep on going. I mean, past experiences help, you know, I do know that it can change. You know, at the start, you know, it's easy to say that now and you pick yourself up, but at the start when the tunnel used to be a lot darker, you know, I used to see a bit of a light at the end of it. It was like, I don't see the end. Now, through past experience, I know I've come up again, if you know what I mean. I know that I've recovered and I know how you can do it, but I don't take it for granted. I don't go, you know, I know what it's like, so let's go out and have a drink and get drunk and go mad, and then after the summer's finished, let's start again. It doesn't work like that. No. But it's just past experiences that I've been lucky enough to know that I can do it.
Yeah. Is it true you lost 7 million quid?
You know, I would say more, but I'm really worried about the money. You know what? I lost time.
Right.
That's this horrible feeling. You lose time, like where you're somewhere but you're not there. You know what I mean? I've been on holiday in Florida and not been there. You know, like everything's going on around, and I'm looking at my phone, or I'm waiting for the bar to open. Yeah, I never ever lived in the moment. I never lived in the day, and that's what addiction does. It takes you away from the moment. You know, and that's what I lost time. You know, my boy said to me the other day, he said, "How comes Sounds his friend's got a big lovely house and all that, and we haven't?" And I went, "Because I gambled.
How old is your son?
He's 7. I said, I gambled, I lost it all.
Oh.
I would have had that, I could have had one of them 10 times over. I could.
Yeah.
And it's like to say, don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the message you got to give. There's no point beating around the bush in saying, oh, you know, we haven't because he earned more money than me or whatever. That's not the case. It's simple as that. I gambled. I gambled.
And was it hard telling your kids about it?
No, I just said it really quick.
Right.
You know, he's 7. I said, you know, I gambled. That's what happens when you gamble. You lose everything.
Yeah.
You know, I could have had that out. You know, I could have easy, not a problem at all. But that's what addiction does. That's what gambling does. You know, and if you lay the seed in his head, you know. Yeah. And that's the thing. So, yeah, it's thinking about it now. It is hard, but you surrender. The money's gone. That's the one thing you do think. You know, you go. You're not getting that back. Forget about it. Thank God you're alive.
Yeah. Are you happy now?
Yeah, I would say so. I find sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I find it boring. You know, sometimes I can sit there. My life's always been up here or down there. It's like been a roller coaster. So even though the buzz of being up here, there's always been that buzz of down here of getting back up to there, you know, and it's been like that. Sometimes I've always searched the whole of my life since I was probably 16 years of age is to be there. And I'm virtually there. I'm like, you know, like that little in the sea. And sometimes I sit there and I go, boring. And then my wife will go, yeah, but is it better than when you were down here? And you're like, it's 100 times better. Of course it is. We'll take that then. It might not be 100 times better than up here, but it's 100 times better than down there. So that, I find that sometimes hard. I'm not going to lie. I do, you know, because as I say, from 16 years of age, it's just been so natural to be up here or down here. You know, it's never been.
Is that when you had your first bet when you were 16?
Yeah, 16, first bet.
It's really early, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you say that, there'll be a lot of kids now gambling, but a lot younger than that.
Hey, quick, before you go, if you want to watch the full, raw, uncut version of this episode in detail, no holds barred, you can watch it here. I don't know if you know, but I have more YouTube channels, including shorts channels, so make sure you subscribe below. But before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on.